On Jets fans, welcome into NYJ today. We are very excited to host our episode 5 with you. So just really quickly, a couple announcements. We've given away 3 of these Jets Koozies. We've got 5 more to give away. All you need to do is to be a subscriber, to like this chat, and to subscribe to the chat. Did I already say that? Subscribe, like, and comment. You need to comment in the chat as well. If you put some comments in this live stream, you will be in the running for a free koozie. I will mail those out to you.
Dude, they're sweet.
They are sweet. And what's nice is it's just simple. I like simple stuff. I think that when you do too much of the custom art, it just gets a little bit silly. But simplicity is at its finest.
Straight Fire got his.
Straight Fire, a couple others too.
Thanks, Straight Fire. Appreciate it.
Yep.
You know, others, they can still reach out, right? If they haven't already.
That's what I was just saying. Yeah, you can reach out. So we're going to get started here. We don't want to waste any time. Topic number 1 tonight. What are you expecting out of CJ Mosely in 2021? I'll read all 3 questions. We'll do the first one first, obviously.
And we want to hear from you, chat. So don't hold back. Right. You guys were on fire last week. So
yeah, last week was super busy.
Let's see a repeat.
Chat it up. Let us know what you guys think. What are you expecting out of CJ Mosely in 2021? Do you think he is at risk of being cut this season? Do you think the Jets will keep him beyond the 2021 season?
So well, if you were Saleh, what would you think coming into the team about that situation?
Let me click on that.
Oh, yeah.
If I were Saleh coming into the situation, what would I think?
Yeah.
I would think that he's a really good... We're just talking about CJ Mosely, right?
Yeah, about the CJ Mosely situation.
I think that he's probably excited. Because he has no reason to be pessimistic of CJ Mosely. Because he hasn't coached him. He hasn't... Mm-hmm. He's never been on his staff before. Or he's never been a part of the team. So I think he'll be excited. And he's just hoping that he'll be productive.
But do we know how he was looking in the offseason before the COVID opt out?
There wasn't really. He
because we went right into the off season, and then practice wouldn't have started until
I think it was training camp time, man, when he opted out.
Training camp, right.
So, to answer you shortly, I would just say that I think that he's excited to have him. I think he's just hoping that when they start practicing, that maybe he looks good. I think that's the hope. But the initial question is what are you expecting out of CJ Mosely? I'll let you go first.
Yeah, and we got first comment in the chat. James, I hope he's what he was like as he was before the injury.
Yeah, of course.
He was a beast when healthy. Yeah, I mean, he was 4-time Pro Bowler.
But is that what you're expecting? Because that's the question.
Yeah,
so we all hope that he does phenomenal. We need him to do really good like he was because he showed that he was a stud when he did play that first game. I want to hear from you.
I'm not actually expecting a lot, to be honest with you. And, chat, want to hear from you. And he could be perfectly healthy. And me and John try not to talk about the topics before the show because we want it to be fresh, and on and live kind of thing. So, but we touched really, really briefly on it. In which case, your stance was, and that's a long time out of football, right? You're talking 2 full seasons, and then I believe for the 18 season, he
was not on our team in 18.
Well, no, but I think he was out a couple games then. So not to say that is a big compounding to the 2 seasons, and not to say that makes a big difference, but 2 years off the field, I'm not looking for a lot. I'm not expecting a lot, I should say, Chad. I think one of the things that helps him, he's coming in with a new scheme. So it's
this
not
scheme
like
fits him too.
Right.
I think that's maybe a misconception. People think because we're changing scheme, he won't fit. He will fit the 4-3.
Yeah, I think that helps him because the whole team will be learning at the same time. It's not as obvious his rustiness.
He's played in the 4-3.
He has played, but he hasn't played in the Jets.
Okay. Go ahead. You're good.
I would say I don't think he'll do terrible. Obviously, I'm a little bit worried about another injury. I mean, I don't know what the likelihood of another groin tear is. I'm trying to think of another player who suffered from just
like multiple. You mean?
Yeah, just repeating.
I don't think it's one of those that's at a risk of being a recurring.
Right. I don't hear it like that.
No.
So barring that being the worst case scenario, I think I'd be happy. I'd just be happy that he if he lead, I think if he leads the team, which someone could say, is that really? Then you're saying he's going to be good, but the Jets' average is not the same as the NFL average. So I'd be happy if he just leads our team. I don't expect him to put up numbers against the rest of the league.
So I'm gonna take a spin at this. There's a question I have for you to follow up though. Mm-hmm. Can you do me a favor though? I hit the bat signal. Do the bat signal. We forgot to hit those out. It's okay though.
We got it. I'm launching them.
So I'll go real quick on this. CJ Mosely, and we saw there's a couple of comments in the chat. We're gonna get to you guys. Just hang tight. So my initial take on CJ Mosely, very good player. 2 years off is my concern. I'm a little bit worried about that. We saw Le'Veon Bell really struggle coming back. I know he plays a different position, but he really isn't that far off in the age department. They were both about 28, 29 right now. So him being out of football, there's a couple of things. Number one, he's definitely not in football shape. There's no way, no how. He's not in football shape.
Yeah, you can't rule that out 100% though.
Having said that, though, most players aren't in football shape prior to training camp.
Okay, yeah.
So my thinking is sure, he's going to come in training camp, and maybe even mini camp at that point. He's going to be a little bit rusty. I think that there is a very good possibility that he shakes off enough rust where he is a starter that you can rely on to produce. He's not going to be lighting it up by any means, I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
But I think he's going to be able to pressure the quarterback if he blitzes. I think he's going to be able to do his job in the run game, stopping the runners. Excuse me. I just think his big thing is knocking the rust off.
Yeah, I didn't mean to jump in, but I don't worry about the presence he'll bring on the line side or in the rush. I'm worried about if they start to try to pick him apart in the coverage. That's where I think it'll be really interesting to see.
You're spot on. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
If he is not in football shape, or if he's not, like, his instincts are off because it's been 2 years,
right,
that could be a problem. He could definitely be
like Tom Brady.
Yeah, exactly. Nope, exactly.
Picking the 100%.
Yes, running back dump balls.
Be like picking crabs here in Maryland.
Yeah. So. It would be bad if he wasn't able to react the way he did, because that was what he was. He was a reactionary kind of middle linebacker.
Absolutely.
He could see the field really
Absolutely.
good. So if his instincts are slightly off, that could be a problem. Having said that, though, I still believe that he's going to be a reliable starter, not a Pro Bowl level starter, but a reliable starter. That's just my take.
Chat is blowing up.
That's good.
Blowing up.
All right,
let's get into it.
Read ones that maybe you had looked at that look interesting.
James just says, following up to his other comment, I think he'd thrive under Saleh, so I think we both agree with that. CJK say, what's up? What's going on, man?
Well, I want to go back to... I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, I was going to cheers
I do want to go back to...
cheers the guy.
We could cheers.
Who cares?
We could cheers everybody. I wanted to go back to Jamie's comment. He said that he thinks he could thrive, and I just wanted to say he absolutely could, because Mosley's coming from Baltimore. And Baltimore has phenomenal coaching and phenomenal defensive schemes.
Absolutely.
Robert Saleh absolutely can get the best out of CJ Mosely. I just wanted to comment on that.
Yeah, that was great. Just ruined CJK's day.
CJK, what's up, brother? Cheers, bro.
Cheers, bro. Robbie Oak is in the chat. He says, we lost 2 prime years of Mosley. Damn.
Yep, that hurt. It hurts. Listen.
Now it's an unknown. Probably looking for the next Mosley now.
Who said that?
That's all Robbie Oak. Busted Knuckle, what's up,
Busted Knuckles, you're new to the channel. I don't recognize your chat. Welcome to the chat.
Yeah,
Welcome to the stream. We're happy to have you. What did he say?
He's going, what's up, fellas?
Cheers to you, Busted Knuckles.
Thank you for my koozie, Busted Knuckles. There you go.
You the man.
Oh, formerly Joe Corsello.
Oh, nice.
Joe, man. What's going on?
I like that you've got an official name on your Google now. Very good job.
Knuckles, man. CJK, do you think the Jets maybe trade or cut Mosley?
Okay, so we talked about that. Who did that?
That's CJK.
CJK, well done. You kind of got it back on the to the chat, or the whole thing, the whole reason why we're here. So my next question is do you think he is a risk of being cut?
I think it would be stupid. They can't do anything with him for the 21 season, so he's going to be there.
Why are we agreeing so much? Yeah, no. He could look pretty much like dog shit during training camp, and I think that the Jets are in a situation financially he's staying.
You're not going anywhere, chat. You don't have to worry about that.
Right.
But after, I mean, what I mean, obviously, it really is dependent upon his performance. But for 22, what do you think?
Okay, so that is the next one. Will they keep him beyond 21?
Yeah.
I do not see that.
Even if he has a breakout. Yeah.
Okay, so if he's a stud and he just beasts out, yes, they'll re-sign him.
I mean, look, you got to keep in mind, he's turned 29, or he is 29. I can't remember what his birthday is.
I think he's turning 29, or
JJ's 33.
Yeah.
No, it's not a big difference, chat. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. A guy in his prime, a year is like a lifetime. But 29 and 33.
Yeah,
and everyone's on JJ for him being towards the end of his career. So it's not. I mean, what are we holding on to, chat? I mean, who said that? Robbie said, I think I'd be looking at the next Mosley. I
think after 21,
because you lose his trade value.
We're not going to. So that's something that's not going to happen. They're not going to be able to get trade value for him.
After the 21 season, even after a good year.
If he has a good year, they're going to have to make two decisions, or they'll have a choice of two decisions. They will either retain him, or they will probably cut him to save money. Because I think after this season, if we get lot more...
20 million of dead money if he leaves this year.
Right, exactly. So the cutting him this year is not happening. It's just, it hurts the cap way too much for them to do that. But next year, I do think it eases up. I think that they are able to make a cut. They can get somebody younger, like Robbie Oak had said, right. And we can just kind of move on. Because that contract is super fucking ugly. Thanks, Mike McCagnon. If you're out there, go fuck yourself.
That's funny. I just called him that.
It's okay. I knew you were reading the chat.
Yeah, sorry. I'm focused. Busted Knuckles. Mosley's contract is a mess.
It's a mess. It is a mess.
Joseph Mosley is the last McCagnon disaster contract.
It was listen, we can all agree. We can all agree that Mosley is a really good player. You do not pay a middle linebacker $18 million. That's not good business.
What's Terrell Suggs get?
He's not a middle linebacker, but I mean, I don't know, not that much.
Yeah, no, good point. Straight fire at the end coming in. How would he fit the 4-3 when he's played his whole career in 3-4?
I think he's played in the 4-3 before. I would have to fact check that one. I thought that he had played 4-3 for the Ravens at one point. I know they had played 3-4 as of recently, but I could have sworn there was a year or two where he is in the 4-3.
I'm trying to think of the prior coordinators for
they had Ravens. Dan. They had Dan Pease,
right?
And then they. I know, terrible last name.
Wow, what an immature moment I just.
Or it's like it's either Dane Pease or Dan Pease. Like they had who's their guy? It was a guy that people thought the Jets were going to hire as their head coach.
Yeah,
I can't remember his name. Fuck. The guy who's currently the defensive coordinator. They ran a 3-4 under him. I'm pretty sure.
For the Ravens.
Yeah, pretty sure under him. But I think he's played 4-3. Again, I'd have to fact check that. I wouldn't guarantee that, but I think he's had experience playing in the 4-3. And I do see him as a good fit for I think he could play outside linebacker in the 4-3. I think he'd be good at that. So.
Yeah. And Straight Fire, thanks for hitting us up about getting a koozie. It's always good to know that they make it to where their
I saw
destination
your email.
is.
It was nice to see that. Did he say anything in the chat?
No. Robbie Oak said he was laughing at your McCagnon comment.
Yeah.
And then Joe, Busted Knuckles, you only give a middle linebacker $18 million if you can throw 30 touchdowns.
Exactly. Right. $18 million is way too much. Great. It was just an overblow by McCagnon, just ridiculous. You good on the topic?
Yeah, I think we pretty much tackled it. I know me and him usually disagree, but on this one, I think we're on the same page.
Yeah, and I think most of the chattels was as well.
I think we're all there.
All right, so topic 2, it's a little bit more in depth. This one will probably be our longest segment of the night. Topic 2 is and there's two options, underperforming or under the radar players that are currently on the roster do you see having a bigger year in 2021? This does not mean they have to be elite. They do not have to become superstars. They could be just a backup transitioning to a starting position. They could be a rookie from last year going into their sophomore year. It could even be a veteran who we just see doing better in their second year on the team.
Right.
So I'll go first because you went first last time.
Okay. That sounds good.
So my first candidate, and again, there's a lot of players on this list, so we'll go one at a time. My first one is Pat Elflein. He's a guard that we signed mid-season from the Vikings. The Vikings cut him.
Right.
He's only 26 years old. He actually had a really good rookie year, which was a couple years ago now, but he had a really good rookie year, and then he kind of had some disappointing seasons. He came in for the Jets and started some games, and he looked competent. He looked like a decent guard. If nothing else, he's going to be a backup for us. And then if that's not the case, then we're looking at a guy who can develop into potentially a starting role, maybe at right guard or left guard. And he has some good, he's like a move guard. He can actually do those pulls and those counters.
Yeah, it's great for running.
Yeah, so I actually see him as a really good fit for the scheme that especially in the running game.
Yeah.
So that's my first player. We need guards.
Mm-hmm.
Greg Van Roten sucked last year. Alex Lewis sucked last year. They were just kind of like
You
either.
don't need to convince me.
Yeah.
That ain't so, baby.
Yeah. So Pat Elflein is my first nomination for a player that I see could be potentially having a better year as long as he's starting on the team. So what do you got?
I gotta go Denzel Mims.
Tell me about him.
I mean, the guy. I mean, I think at some points on that offense was the only bright star that you could see at times, really showing what he could be, the role he could play for Sam. Not at that point in time, not knowing really where Sam was because we were all over the Trevor Lawrence side of the house. At least I was. I don't know. That kind of we never really got to experience that interaction with Chat on the whole Trevor Lawrence thing.
Yes.
That predated us. But if you would have saw us and you saw me, I was Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Oh, it was heartbreaking, Chat.
It's actually good. I'm going to stop you there because I want to say we were a pro-tank community. When we lost to the Raiders, when they completed that Hail Mary touchdown or whatever, I lost my shit. I was thrilled. I couldn't have been happier. I thought that the Jets were going to blow it and win the game, and I know that maybe that upsets some Jets fans. If it does, I do apologize. I am a true Jets fan, diehard. I just wanted them to lose to have a shot at Trevor Lawrence. Hopefully you understand. So
if you saw his pro day, it was that final knife in the gut.
Yeah.
Because he threw a 70-yard bomb and then flicked his hair.
Yeah. On Twitter, they were talking.
That is exactly what happens. If you look at the video, he literally throws a 70-yard bomb, actually shows his abs first, and then he flicks his hair. Guy's amazing. But anyway, what were you going to say?
Nothing. You were talking about Denzel Mims.
But listen to these stats, dude. 23 receptions, 357 yards, 15.5 yards average.
That's very good.
I mean, I'm not going to go into the rest of them because
all right.
I think those speak for themselves, Chat.
So
I don't know. Denzel Mims, for
I'll
sure.
go on this one because I watched the film. Denzel Mims is a go-up-and-get-it receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Very physical. We all saw him do it against the Chargers. We saw him do it against the... shit.
And we talked about that.
Oh, the Broncos, too.
We talked about it last week. You know, I think it was Chad and I going back and forth on what a physical receiver brings to the table. I mean, obviously you have receivers who do good based on the play call, but I think every team needs a physical receiver.
Yes,
it's just you're gonna need lean on that.
Yeah, and that's actually one of my concerns going into free agency is that I've done a bunch of videos on wide receivers for the free agency playlist in the channel. So Galladay's somebody that I've done video on. Allen Robinson is a guy I've done a video on, and those are two guys that. I'm not comparing them to Denzel Mims. I'm not saying that Mims is as good as them, but what I am saying is they both play the same way, or they all three play the same way. They're all physical, go up and get it guys. I don't know if it's a bad thing to have two of that.
Right,
I think that might be okay.
Yeah, right.
But it would be nice to have like a pure speed wide receiver to complement him. Somebody who can really take the top off the defense. That's what I'm thinking about. Is like
a Tyreek Hill.
I mean, nobody's as fast as him, but if we could just get somebody who's really, really fast, that would be my preferred route, and that's why I like Chris Godwin. Chris
Godwin's man, free agent.
I'm sorry, not Chris Godwin. I just fucked that up. Curtis Samuel. My bad.
Okay, yeah, I was like Chris Godwin's a speedster,
Curtis
but okay.
Samuel, Curtis Samuel is the burner. Yeah, he would fit the mold beautifully, though. I would love Curtis Samuel.
Yeah.
So Jets fans, I actually will ask you, what do you think about Denzel Mims? We would like to see what you think about him. Maybe some predictions for statistics. Why don't I hear yours? Because I predicted a guard first, and they don't really do statistics. What would be your guess for him now that you saw his rookie year? He had 357 yards.
Yeah.
Second year.
I think I'd actually be okay with those stats, and he adds to his touchdown.
Well, he needs to go up.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, if he upped his touchdown for his second year,
he needs to have touchdowns.
I guess maybe I'm being more too realistic to where I think the team will be next year. I mean, that's how I'm taking a lot of different factors into the equation.
I mean, you could predict him, say he gets more yards. I think he should absolutely get more yards. Excuse me.
Right. Well, it's really the touchdown count that I really want to see.
So give me your prediction. Stop spitting around. Tell me what you think he's going to actually
break down. I'm just going to spit it out, I guess.
Yeah. It's just a guess.
I would be, I don't know. I'm just going to, I would be, let's say 500 yards, but 15 touchdowns. That's what
Holy shit, 15!
Oh, yeah. If he's going to be our top receiver.
Holy fuck-a-moly, he's not getting 15 touchdowns.
Who's he going to throw to?
He had 0!
You're asking me for what I think a good year for him would be.
Don't listen to him.
Stop it. What a good year was.
I think more yards. You said 500 yards?
500 yards.
I'm going to say he gets about 600 to 800 receiving yards. And I'm going to say he gets about 3 to 7 touchdowns. That would be nice. If he got close to the high end of that...
But who's getting the other touchdowns?
That's the problem.
Jameson Crowder?
Right now it's Sam Darnold. I don't feel confident saying anything until I know who the quarterback is.
I really feel like you're giving him a low bar on that touchdown count.
15's too many.
I will say I'm on the high end, but a 3?
Way too high.
3 for the entire season?
If Deshaun Watson comes aboard, I'll change my prediction.
But who's he getting touchdowns from?
You talking about Denzel Mims?
I'm just talking. Who's getting? If he's only getting 3 to 7.
Dude, I don't even know if we scored 15 touchdowns last year.
Oh no, I get that. I understand that completely. But I'm not. I guess here's the deal. I'm not looking at us doing a 2-14 season next year. So
it won't be 15.
Let's just call it in the middle. I think I agree with. Let's just say 7 and 9. 7 and 9.
7 and 9. That's fair. I'd set a little lower at that, but I think he will have more receptions, and I do think he'll have more yards as well.
I think you're underestimating him on the touchdown side because I don't know who else is going to score. If we score, that's your point.
To score more touchdowns. He had 0 last year. There's a reason.
So you can only go up,
not to 15. All right, I'm going again. That was retarded. Right tackle George Fant is my next candidate. He's 28 years old. He was a kind of a swing tackle for the Seahawks. He didn't necessarily start for the Seahawks. He lined up as a 6th offensive lineman for them. And George Fant, I could see now having a full year of starting under his belt. Mm-hmm. I actually really see him taking another step this year. I think people are sleeping on George Fant. He had a pretty good year last year. He wasn't a stud, don't get me wrong.
Right.
Solid, though. Solid right tackle. You do not need to have an all-pro right tackle on your team to be able to win.
Well, that's what you keep tossing back at me when I say Penhags.
It's the facts. So, if we get George Fant to even just step his game up a little bit more, and again, don't sleep on this. Who were our guards last year? Who was he playing next to?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm giving high targets.
I agree. Get off of Denzel Mims.
Right.
So conversation's over.
All right.
So I'm telling you that George Fant, I could easily see if we upgrade our guard positions, if we improve at that position, draft a player, sign a player in free agency, I could really see a big jump and improvement in George Fant. I could smell that.
I know. I totally agree with that. I totally agree.
I really want our offensive line to be better. He thinks I don't like the offensive line.
He hates it. He hates the big man.
Offensive line is critical. Go ahead.
I want to catch up on these chats real quick.
Yep. Are they talking to themselves?
Jamie says every player will be better without Gase.
They really will.
Some internal chat to chat. I think Joe says I think it depends on our quarterback with Mims, but I hope he doubles his rookie stats.
I think that's fair. I think doubling his stats would be absolutely fair. Again, touchdowns, he needs to double it, but not be 0.
Robbie Oak says, can we at least get a 100-yard game out of Mims? Yeah, that's a good point.
Now, again, who said that?
Robbie Oak.
He does need to prove himself. So that's the thing. Like, we can be excited about Mims, but we can also
All these players are in that same boat, though.
we can have the stance that Mims needs to prove himself, but again, we are excited about his potential that we saw.
But that's what I'm saying. The entire group of what we talked about is in that same boat. Underperforming.
Not the same boat. Because Fant's not a... He's not a top... I wouldn't even say he's a top 20 starter at right tackle, probably. Well, maybe. No, actually, I shouldn't say that. He was in the top 20 as starting right tackle. But not an elite starter. And that's why I'm saying, like, I think he's going to step up.
Mims in an elite starter?
Talking about Fant.
I know, but I'm saying what you said is there's high expectations, and I'm saying I think all the plays we're talking about in this topic are in that boat. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
You disagree?
I just don't know what you're saying.
We'll move on. Let's see. Robbie Oak. He had something else. Crowder. 60 receptions, 600 yards, 6 touchdowns, I think. I guess, Robbie, you're saying your expectations for Crowder is to have a better season, I guess is what I'm getting out of that, if I'm following you.
He might be saying that's who he's playing with.
Oh, yeah. I think you're right. What's this last one from Jamie? Keep Fant and draft a center. Move McGovern to guard.
Oh, my God. Who said that?
That's Jamie or Di Pietro.
All right, so Jamie, I am making a, for God's sake, Brandon Scherf. I'm making a Brandon Scherf free agent profile video in the next couple of days. That's going to be on the channel this weekend, and that's the exact same thing that I'm recommending is that they sign a center and replace him and put McGovern at guard. So the guy that I'm actually thinking of is Lindsley from the Packers. So if they sign, I think his name's Corey Lindsley.
I believe you're right.
He's the center for the Packers. You sign him, put him in the middle, and then move McGovern to guard because he played guard at the Broncos.
Correct. Yeah.
So that could be an interesting move. Do you have any more players?
Bryce Hall. I think that's what chat really wants us to get to.
Oh, man. Is that what they said?
Yeah, there's a few people.
All right, so...
I'm skipping over them because I was going to say that was my...
Talk a little bit about Bryce Hall. I've got stuff I want to talk about. Oh, you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
So Bryce Hall, he's a tall, long corner, 6'2", out of Virginia, drafted in the 5th round due to injury. And he came in last year after he recovered. The first game back, the first 2 games, he looked a little iffy.
Mm-hmm.
And then he started to play pretty good football. Played pretty solidly. Yeah, in the second half of the year. That's when he started anyway, because he didn't play the first half.
Correct.
But Bryce Hall showed a lot of promise. And the thing that we need to remember here about Bryce Hall, he was not playing in the correct scheme. He was playing in a man kind of defense. And although he can do man defense, he can do man coverage. He's far better suited for a press zone defense kind of position and role. Yeah. And I compare him to Richard Sherman because he's about the same height, he's about the same size, and he's not the fastest or at most athletic cornerback.
It's his eyes.
I think it's a bunch of things. It's his length. He's got long arms and he's tall. And so when he presses you, he's got his arms on you.
And plus his awareness, and you can make up for a lot of speed. You know
I think the awareness has to come with time because he's only in his 2nd year. But he's got all the physical traits to do the things that I just described. He's going to press you at the line. I hope so, at least. I hope that's what they use him, the role they use him in. Let him press and play that zone. Because, again, after he presses these guys, he's going to have a zone responsibility where he can kind of play in that shallow, like if it's like a cover 2, he's playing that low zone.
Right.
If he's playing a cover 3, he's dropping back. So there's just so much flexibility when you have that kind of cornerback that can press at the line. It screws up the offense really badly. And then if you combo the pressing with a pass rush, you are going to fuck up offenses every week in the NFL.
Oh,
if
absolutely.
you can press people...
So we saw from the Bucks.
You saw it from the Jets. Well, the Jets when they blitzed, but they were pressing with Revis, though, even in that blitz defense.
Oh, 100%. Oh, 100%.
And I'm trying not to get ahead of myself here. I don't think he's Revis.
Excited.
I don't think he's Richard Sherman, but I do think he fits the scheme perfectly. And I think that's the part that excites me. And so, if you're counting on Bryce Hall to be better, I'm with you all the way. He's on my list. I was going to talk about him. How do you feel about Bryce Hall?
I love him. I'm a big fan. I mean, I think now it's subjective what each of us would define as a a good or decent season, but I think Bryce's rookie season was decent. 33 tackles, 1 interception.
Needs to stay healthy, but he did. He played well.
But given the amount of games he was in, who said something similar? Joe, Bustin' Knuckles said the same thing. Thinks he's going to ball out next season, and I totally agree. I don't see a situation, especially with the coaching changes that are going on why he wouldn't ball out. So I think it's nowhere to go but up for Bryce, and
I'm
the
very
Jets
excited
can use
for
it
Bryce.
because it would be nice not to have to worry about that half of the field.
Quick commercial break.
Yeah, absolutely.
5 left.
Koozie time!
Like, comment, and subscribe. We will send this out to you. We will let you know if you've won a koozie. Second commercial. We're taking live phone calls at the end of this stream. So if you are hanging on and if you are with us later in the stream,
1-900. Have a good time.
you'll be able to call and we'll be able to put you on the show. We want to do that on the channel. We want to have interaction. That's what we've been telling you from the first day we did this, was we want to interact with you. So we're going to be putting you guys on the show tonight.
You guys are doing awesome in the chat, by the way. The
So,
chat is just going crazy.
Stick around and we're enjoying that.
Some good conversations in there right now.
Yeah, and I do apologize. There was a little technical difficulty with our chat on the screen. I apologize. We'll do better next time.
Yeah, we're looking at and we forgot to mention this at the top of the hour, but hopefully you guys saw the waiting room. So we're doing some upgrades, little things. We're not looking for big pats on the back or gold stars or anything like that. But we're excited about it because we got to work. We got the waiting room. Well, I gotta give John props because he does all the graphic work on the thumbnails and the channel art. And, of course, he did the waiting room landing page artwork. So big thanks to you for that, man. But we got the waiting room up. We got the scene transition. And the other thing we didn't mention, which is really bad on us, we're not really good with the marketing thing, is we're also live right now on Facebook.
Oh,
because we have a multi streaming source thing that we're messing with.
So that's gonna start. I'm gonna start putting that information out. We will invite you to our NYJ Today Facebook page, and we are also on Twitch as well. We haven't streamed to that yet, but we are going to.
I mean, you guys might know it better. So Twitch partners with Periscope, so it's actually technically called Periscope, but we were able to use our Twitter account, the NYJ Today Twitter account. And then Twitch would be we're looking for. I'll say this in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are on the Twitch community. There is the group of channels under the, I think it's called Just Talking, which is a bunch of different podcasts and just different topics. It could be all kinds of things. But what are your thoughts on Twitch? We definitely follow the groups, the Jet groups on Facebook. Same thing on Twitter. Obviously YouTube, which is obviously how we met you guys. Mm-hmm. Twitch is somewhat of a wild card for us. We don't really know if it's worth it. I'm throwing it out on the yes side. John's like, why add something that maybe doesn't really meet anyone's needs? So if you guys are on Twitch, if you're in Twitch and you feel like it would be more convenient for you, let us know. Because it's not really a big deal for us. I mean, it's really just us adding another account. But, we're not trying to kind of do things if we don't really have to, I guess.
Long story short, we are going to keep growing. We're going to keep working our asses off so that it's a good product for you guys. Mm-hmm. All right. Any other players that you want to mention? I have only one more on my list.
You go ahead. Fire away.
So the last player that I'd like
Ashton Davis.
I think again, he's not on my list. But Ashton Davis just needs to become a role player and a special teamer. I don't think we should be counting on Ashton Davis as a starter in 2021.
I had him written down, but I wasn't going to toss him out there.
I think the Jets might actually try to sign a free agent safety.
I agree. Totally agree.
I think that they'll try to sign somebody in the second and third tier.
Be prepared for a really aggressive Jets team in the free agency.
I think aggressive can be explained in many ways, though.
Very true, which is why I'm not going to define it.
Don't think they're going to go total big fish shopping like Mike
after the CJ Mosely incident.
I think they're going to be aggressive in the second to third tier market. I think they're going to get a lot of people in that market. I totally agree.
I'm with you again.
That's why I want Curtis Samuel.
It doesn't feel good when we agree.
All right. My last player to mention is Jabari Zuniga. This guy played absolutely no snaps last year. I mean, he played some. I shouldn't say he played no snaps. He played in a very, very limited role. He was injured at one point in the year. But Jabari Zuniga was not in the correct scheme at all. If all the people that we've talked about, Mims, George Fant, Bryce Hall. But Jabari Zuniga was out of scheme way worse than any of these other guys.
Mm-hmm.
Jabari is a 4-3 speed edge rusher. He's going to get up, and he's going to try to get around those tackles. He's going to use, hopefully, some spin moves. He needs to develop his pass rushing moves.
Yeah.
But he's got the raw ability, and that's why Joe Douglas took him. He saw raw ability that needs developing. That's what Joe Douglas, that's the kind of player that Joe Douglas is going to look for, the people that aren't necessarily perfect prospects, but they can do the job. Like, if they learn and if they develop, they can do it, and they can succeed.
That model's going to be really hard for the New York fan base to swallow, though. You know what I'm saying?
Which one?
Just Joe Douglas's kind of MO when it comes to approaching player talent.
It's better than McCagnon. You mean in the draft?
Oh, I'm just saying in general. It's a more methodical, slow, and Jet fans. I'm not saying we're in that group chat, so don't come after me. But I'm just saying in general, Jet fans have a limited amount of patience.
It's true. No, it's very true.
And if you want more on that type of topic, go to, I think it was our second video where we talked about, does the New York fan base and the New York media pose an issue to Robert's first year?
We're going to talk about that in topic 4 a little bit. But
we have a whole topic devoted to that in another video.
All right, we're going into segment 3 here. We have any comments?
Ashton Davis was the guy I thought of also, Mike. He got much better coverage as the season went on.
Who is that?
That was Joe Busted Knuckles. Robbie O giving us a channel feedback. Chat still not transcribing to the window on the screen. I know you want future viewers to see it.
Yeah, I could probably switch it over.
Yeah, no, we got you, Robbie. Thanks, man.
Why don't you read the next comment? I'll fix that. It's topic 3.
Okay, you're gonna do it live.
Yeah, it's all good.
He's getting under the car. He's getting the hood open. Let me just look through here. Robbie agrees with you on your comments. I bet all these players jump in performance. The entire chat say they think the entire team, all the players, are going to see an increase in output with the coaching changes, and I totally agree. Chat. So we're going to go into topic 3, right?
You're reading topic 3. That's
all right. So topic 3, which we're pretty excited about, is there are 25 players from the 2020 Jets roster that are set to become free agents. You know some names. We know some names. The game that we came up with is not really a game. I don't know if you want to call it a game, but we're trying different things out. So we're going to do a keep them and cut them segment. This is similar to PTI kind of atmosphere. I'm going to be controlling the flags, right? Bringing in the airplane. And John is going to either agree with me or disagree with what I raise for that player at that point.
You're welcome.
Before we raise the flag for each of the players, are we doing all 25? Are we gonna fire around this thing? Or are we gonna just
First of all, give me my paper back.
You're gonna have to read the names.
25 players from the 2020 Jets roster that are set to become free agents. Who are you keeping and who are you letting go?
Right. But we do want to hear from the chat
before
we raise the flag.
Right. We are going to talk about each player briefly before we decide on letting them go or keeping them. First player up, pending free agent, Brashad Perriman. We're going to talk about it, remember?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, so what do you want to do? What do you think about Brashad Perriman?
I think he has a lot to bring to the table, and he's cheap. Why wouldn't you? I mean, you're talking about a talented player for peanuts, chat. Now, of course, the Jets have the second largest cap, but let's not spend if we don't have to.
There's gonna be a lot of people that hate your idea, by the way.
Oh yeah, I'll go and keep him.
All right, can I have the other one, please? We need to cut. We need to cut him. And by cut him, we need to let him go, is what it should say, actually. We need to let him go because Brashad Perriman has been often injured in his career. He has not been able to stay healthy. And he also doesn't perform consistently. He's an inconsistent player. And he just hasn't shown what he needs to at this point in his career to be worth a roster spot, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. You should be drafting players to improve. You should be signing players to improve. the Jets' offense sucked last year. Awful. We talked about that. Denzel Mims didn't get a touchdown last year. He scored 0 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And it's because our offense sucked. So don't try to sell me on keeping somebody that didn't do really anything on a bad team. We don't need more players like that. We need to get them out. We need to replace them with better players.
But I'm not putting all my eggs in that basket, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at it more from a sniff test.
And that's the only reason why I could say okay. Because if you're gonna pay for Brashad Perriman on your team, it's gonna cost you, like you said, it's gonna be peanuts. He got a $5 million 1-year contract last offseason.
Right.
What's he gonna get this year? It's gonna be probably in the neighborhood of like 3 to 5 again.
Yeah, I was gonna say 3.
3 to 5 mil, I would say.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I get it. I think that's a good point. Chat. We got one person weighing in. Oh, first of all, we have a couple people. Robbie Oak says, "Nice job, you fixed it." So they're congratulating you on your on the spot, Mr. Fix It techniques.
all good, baby.
Grant Rude, Perryman, cut him.
Get him out. Let him go. It should say let him go, but we can say cut him though, because it's more fun to say cut him.
James says he missed half the balls thrown to him. Bye-bye. I get it, chat. I'm not putting all my eggs in that basket.
Did he miss them, or did Sam Darnold miss them?
Ooh, that is clever. That's a good point.
Sammy Darnold's airmailing them left and right.
Sammy.
All right, continue. We're going to go on to the next player.
Well, let me name the next player.
Oh, go for it. Here, he's on my list right here.
I got one that's right.
Well, it'd be easier if you just went down the list.
Oh, you want me to go in order? Brian Poole.
Let's take it in order. Yeah.
It's Brian Poole.
All right, what are you doing about Brian Poole? I'll let you go first.
No, I went first last time and I got roasted.
All right, Brian Poole. He's 29 years old. He made $5 million just like Brashad did. And actually, I was wrong. Brashad Perriman made $6.5 million last year, not $5 million.
I thought it was 5.
I thought so too. According to this, it's $6.5 million.
So you'd be round 4.
It must have been $1.5 million bonus if he stayed on the team or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Brian Poole was a $5 million contract, 1-year deal. I actually think they need to keep him. First of all, we know we like Bryce Hall. We've talked a lot about him tonight. Bryce Hall, absolutely. Who are our other cornerbacks? Bless Austin? He struggled last year.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think I've mentioned this before in one of my other videos. Bless Austin, I think he's out of position. He shouldn't even be playing cornerback. That dude should be a safety.
Right.
He's long, and I think he's fast enough, and I think that he has the instincts, because you've seen him.
How tall is he?
I think he's like 6'2".
I was going to say 6.
He's not a great cover guy, so I think that he would have a lot to learn going to the new position. But right now, I don't see it working out for him at cornerback.
Yeah.
He struggled last year.
Yeah.
He gets a lot of penalties, and he doesn't really stick his guy. So,
if anything, just have a fallback. You know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously, Jets could make some moves in free agency, but it'd be good to have someone to sign so we don't have to worry about it.
So back to Brian Poole. Is that what you're going back to?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to.
I think we need to sign Brian Poole. I think he can still stay in the slot. I don't see any reason why. The only problem is I think there are rumors out there where he actually would like to go back to the Falcons, which is where he was before the Jets.
I didn't hear that.
So we might have competition for him to re-sign him, even though it's not going to be an expensive contract.
Yeah.
I think that he's going to...
What season is he in?
He's 29 years old.
Oh, yeah. So he's up there.
Let's see. I don't think it says on here. I think maybe like 6 years, 7 years. That's about how long.
Yeah, that would be about right. We got a couple of chats. I think our Red Sports, which is the first time I'm seeing you in the chat. I don't know if, John, you recognize the name, but if it is your first time, welcome.
Yeah,
welcome.
our Red Sports. I do not recognize that name. Welcome to the chat. If you are here for a first time, thank you so much for being here.
Yep. Appreciate it, man. Hopefully you like the channel and subscribe. Grant Rude says Poole keep. He agrees.
Yeah, you got to keep Poole. We don't have enough at cornerback.
Yeah, keep Poole. Robbie Oak says keep Poole coming this year, hopefully.
This is I think an easy one, guys, so we won't spend too much time on every player here, but this is the first one, the first one that I think will be easy. Bradley McDougall, 31 years old, $5.5 million contract last year. He is pending to be free agent. What are you doing with Bradley?
I think we let the chat chime in on this one.
Oh, I think this one's easy. We'll go ahead and say I'm cutting. I'm letting him go.
Yeah, no. All right. Well, go ahead. We're going with cut.
Yeah, I don't see any scenario where we don't let him go. Because number one, he was injured. He's 31. And he didn't really do much when he wasn't out there. I mean, he was kind of quiet.
Yeah, I feel like we'd just be throwing money away if we re-signed him.
Yes, we can we can sign somebody younger, or we can draft somebody young. I don't see how you re-sign him. Excuse me. Did anybody post yet what they think?
Cut. Grant Root says cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody. I thought that one would be
everyone's going with cut.
I think if it's obvious, we can kind of go
Okay.
ahead. I think there's nothing wrong with that. The next one is not obvious, but in my opinion, it is.
Okay.
The player is Jordan Jenkins.
Mm.
Do you want to go first? Just give me thoughts without saying what you want to do.
I see a lot of potential there. I think there's I think there's room for a contribution.
Okay. And what role will he be playing on the defense? I'd love to hear this answer.
I guess maybe I'm looking at it more from a depth chart standpoint rather than an actual talent standpoint. I'm thinking more deep, especially with what we do. Some of this is just based on my assumptions on how the draft's going to go. So we do know that injuries were a problem for the Jets. I don't know.
He's turning 27 years old.
Yes.
Or he already is 27.
But was he injured last year? I can't remember.
It does not matter. $3 3/4 million. I don't think he's going to be back, guys. I think Jordan Jenkins has been on the team since we drafted him out of Georgia. Jordan Jenkins is not going to be re-signed.
Grant brings up a good point. It's obvious 3-4 outside linebacker.
Yeah, it is.
That's a good point.
That's why I was waiting.
That's a good point.
So Jordan Jenkins is not a scheme fit. He's a terrible, terrible fit for the 4-3. He can't stand up and be a linebacker. Not middle, not outside, none of that. Mm-hmm. And he is not big enough to be a defensive end in the 4-3. He's gone, dude. He's gonna get cut. Put that fucking thing up. Put that sign up. He's gone.
Put high.
Jordan Jenkins, we appreciate your service. You weren't a bad dude. You played hard, but you're gone, dude. We can't keep you. You just don't fit the scheme.
Yeah, and Robbie Oak says help's coming here too. He said that. He said that for Poole as well. I think is what he said. Okay, next player.
Next player is Patrick Onwuasor. Excuse me, Onwuasor. He is a former Raven. He was a starter depth guy. He didn't start a lot of games for the Ravens, but did play some games. He is turning 29 years old, and he made $2 million last year. This is a guy that played backup for us and special teams.
What's your thought? What's your vote?
I would actually be okay with keeping him. We do need to keep some veterans on the team.
How much? What was his contract?
$2 million last year.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I'm gonna keep him. I think that he also is somebody that Joe Douglas obviously had his eyes on from the Ravens.
Yeah.
So he probably sees something in him, even if it's just, again, as a veteran depth guy, a special teamer. We don't have a lot of veterans on defense, I would say. We have pretty good young players. We have Bless Austin. We have...
Right.
Not pretty good, I'm sorry. We have a bunch of young guys. Ashton Davis, Bryce Hall.
Right.
Quinnen Williams is young.
Mm-hmm.
Foley Fatukasi is young. Jonathan Franklin Myers is young.
Yeah, very young team.
Mosley and Onwuasor, pretty much the veterans of that defense. And I think that Onwuasor could play all three of those the linebacker positions in a pinch. I don't know if he's great at any of those positions, but he could play them in a pinch.
Yeah. Robbie Oak agrees on the Jenkins cut. And then we have a couple keeps.
For Patrick?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you got to consider keeping him. He's going to be cheap. He was $2 million last year. There's nothing says he's going to be more than that.
No, I have no problem. I think that's an easy win.
Okay.
Can we skip to? I want to skip to Marcus May.
He is after the next one.
You gonna make me wait?
That one's easier than you think.
I know.
Neville Hewitt. He's 28 years old. His middle linebacker. He actually played a shit ton of snaps last year. I didn't realize this. That can't be right. There's no way that's right. Anyway, Neville Hewitt, $2 million last year. He had $1 million guaranteed. He's still 28 years old, and he played pretty well, actually. This was a tough one, I think, actually, for him.
Do you remember what his stats are, by chance?
I'm gonna look
Played.
that up real quick.
So I will say initially with with Neville Hewitt. He played pretty well. He's not a good cover linebacker, and we need good cover linebackers in a 4-3 defense.
But Neville led the team in tackles.
Decent linebacker. Not a bad player. I'm not knocking him at all. So let me just make it clear here. This is more of a scheme thing or more of a scheme decision than it is anything else.
So where are you going with it? What's your vote?
I think I'm letting him go. And again, it's not one of those things where he's a bad player.
Yeah. I'll hear you out.
No, just I mean, I basically said it. He's not really a great fit for the 4-3. We need faster guys at linebacker, and he's more of a thumper.
But you think with a rigorous camp, you don't think he could? I mean, 91 total tackles.
I'm not saying I'm right.
And his snap.
I'm not saying I'm right here. I'm just saying that's what I would do. I think that I would let him go.
You think you're right?
I do think I'm right, but I'm not.
I know who you are.
I wouldn't be shocked if we kept him, is what I'm saying. I'm just saying I wouldn't keep him.
So you're going cut.
I'm letting him go.
I'm going to say keep because I believe that I believe with a camp, I think he has something to contribute there.
All right, so we're split on that one. What's the chat say?
Let's see what chat says. Hewitt keep. That comes from Grant. Robbie Oak. Hewitt was a trooper. Cheap and good. Keep. Hewitt. Grant again can back up Mosley. I think another new viewer, a new chat comment. Camrado. Oh man, Bermudez.
CB.
Yeah, CB.
CB, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for checking in.
Cheers
to you, bro.
Welcome, man. And I think there was another new chat that we didn't cheers for, so I feel like we undercut the guy.
It's all good.
But I'm getting.
What did CB say?
I'm getting consensus for keep.
And again, I don't think I'm right.
Keeps have it.
Just what I would do. All right, we'll move on. We're doing pretty slow here.
Yeah, we are.
Marcus May, I am keeping him. There's really not much of a discussion here.
Easy.
We let him go, we have nothing at safety.
And his stats were awesome.
Yeah, he played
2
well.
sacks, 2 forced fumbles.
He had some picks too, 2 or 3, I think.
I don't remember what his pick count was. I didn't write it down.
Marcus May is a good veteran. He was actually one of the veterans that I didn't mention as far as having veterans on the team. He's a leader of the defense, and he's a good leader. He's not a Jamal Adams. He's not somebody that says things and doesn't mean them. Marcus May seems pretty intentional with what he says.
Yep.
So what are you saying, Marcus May?
I'm going keep.
You got to keep him.
Got to keep.
I don't think you can do anything but keep him.
Yep.
Gets a little bit easier after this, so we are going to go a little faster. Joe Flacco.
Bye-bye.
See you, Flacco.
Is it bad that I feel...
You feel bad for him?
I feel bad for the guy.
He's just at the end of his career.
I know, but he had such an unceremonious end to Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? Especially after he got him a Super Bowl, a D2 player.
Don't feel too bad for a millionaire. He's all right.
Yeah, that's true.
He's okay.
He is.
You
know who I don't feel bad for? Freaking Ryan Fitzpatrick that Chad talked about last week.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
As you'll notice, Chad's not here this week because of that comment.
Yeah,
So if you want to hear what he said to get kicked off the NYJ Today show, you go watch that video.
We buried him in my backyard. That's where his body lays after
Notice, you don't see CPS in the chat today.
Yeah, he's hiding his face. In dirt. Alright. Matthias Farley is next. I'm letting him go. Matthias Farley was 29 years old, 1.2 million. I'm letting him go. Frank Gore, good riddance. You're a great human being.
Dude, not only cut, retire.
Good human being. He's potentially a Hall of Famer. A lot of people are talking about he's a Hall of Famer.
I'm alright with that.
Goodbye, Frank Gore. See you later, buddy. Yeah. Daniel Brown, tight end, 29 years old. Didn't make $1 million last year. Let him go, right? Our tight end room sucks. We have to get better at tight end.
We already have a bust at tight end.
Goodbye, Daniel Brown. Pat Elfline, I mentioned him earlier. We need to re-sign this guy. I'm keeping him all day long. He's young. He showed a glimmer of potential. I'm keeping Pat. I would like to hear the chat on Pat. So if you have comments on...
They're still catching up. I will say there's some other comments in here.
Oh.
Robbie Oak says, bye, Joe. Grant Rude, actually surprising me. Flacco, keep if drafting a quarterback at 2nd overall. Cut if Watson comes to town.
But here's the thing, though. Who said that, Grant?
Yeah, that's
so Grant, I'll argue this. What does Flacco offer
he's
a new
not really
quarterback?
a mentor quarterback.
Yeah, so Joe Flacco, if you notice, he never spoke to Sam Darnold.
No.
If you looked at like
He was
sidelines
picking hot dog buns out of his beard.
and try to think back to Josh McCown, and I'm not saying Josh McCown's the greatest thing on earth, but if you think back, how many times did we see Josh McCown glued to Sam Darnold's hip?
Oh my gosh, it was like they were dating.
Yes. So that's not who Joe Flacco is. Joe Flacco has a lot, I'm sure, that he could teach a young quarterback,
Right.
but just doesn't really do. He doesn't give a shit. It's just kind of his
I don't
personality.
think he has that much to teach.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
I'm sure he has a lot to teach, but he's just not that guy. He was never really a vocal guy in
how old is
Baltimore.
Flacco, do you think?
I can get you that information. Joe Flacco is 36.
Wow. How old was McCown? Was 42, right?
I don't remember, but he was old.
He was over 40. I know that.
He was old.
And it's not about being over 40 or under 40. I'm just saying, I think that the best quarterbacks do I think of who are mentored the best, backup quarterbacks, not active quarterbacks who mentor their backups, but backup quarterbacks who mentor their starter. McCown, I think you see it's older player, older, more mature
Sure, and that's what
quarterbacks.
he's thinking. He's thinking Joe Flacco's a better. I just would argue that he's not really that kind of guy. He's not. That's not the type of person he is. Go ahead. You have chat.
I'm just looking through here really quick.
Go to the bottom.
Okay. I don't care. Grant says I don't care about a backup mentoring. I care about a backup capable of backing up. Remember, the Jets have a QB coach now.
Fair enough.
That
I
is a
like
good
that.
point. I like
Listen,
that.
Grant, that's a great comeback. I love that.
Yeah, very
Really
true.
well said too. We do finally have a QB coach. We don't have Frodo Baggins rolling the sidelines. What was his goddamn? What was his goddamn name? The guy who was serving as the offensive coordinator but really didn't do anything.
Yeah, I know you're talking.
I already
about.
forgot his name.
I
That's
know.
how little I cared about him.
Yeah. Robbie Oak says truth, responding to Grant. Yeah, no, we're caught up.
Give me the name of the offensive coordinator the Jets had.
Who's got it?
Adam Gase.
Put it in there.
Yeah, put the name in the chat. I want to know.
Grant's laughing out loud. That's awesome.
All right.
Are we supposed to put the phone in the chat?
No, we're not there yet.
Okay.
We're gonna do that last
I
segment.
I'm
excited. I'm excited about it.
I'm pretty
so.
excited. We're gonna have tell them maybe because we have a few people who just joined in. So why don't you tell them about what that means?
Oh, okay. So if you're new here, if you haven't been on the stream, we are taking phone calls live on the channel tonight. It's gonna be our last segment of the evening. And again, if you comment, like, subscribe to the channel, we're giving away 5 more of these koozies. So please do that, and you will be in the running. The next player on the list, Josh Andrews, backup center, 30 years old. Cutting him.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that.
Let him go.
He had piss poor stats.
He didn't play.
Oh, that's right.
He didn't really play. Linebacker Bryce Hager. He played. He sucked. He's 29 years old. Bye-bye, Bryce Hager. Arthur Mollett. I actually see some value in Arthur Mollett. I would retain him. He's only 28 years old. He was $1 million to sign. I'm re-signing Arthur Mollett. Excuse me. Let me know what you guys think. I think he may have even played a little bit of safety last year. Now that I'm thinking about it, Arthur Mollett. I feel like he might have.
He rotated in for.
I think he might have.
Really.
Chat, let me know what you think. I'm pretty sure I remember that. Arthur Mollett may have played a little bit of safety last year. I would keep him, though. I think he adds value and adds depth. Ross Travis is a tight end. I do not even know who he is. I'm letting him go. I'll get to the bottom of the list. Harvey Langi, the linebacker, 29 years old. He barely made over $500,000. I'm letting him go.
Yeah.
He played high motor kind of energy guy, but he didn't really do anything.
At a certain point, what are you paying for?
He was a high motor guy because there was a play they showed.
Was
where
he big on special teams?
He played special teams a little bit. He started some actually, which is really bad.
Because
Vincent Smith and Jeff Smith are the last two. They're wide receivers. They're both young and they both have speed. Mm-hmm. But those are guys that Adam Gase liked, and I would just like to cleanse myself of that.
Because that was the other thing about Ashton Davis that we didn't mention.
Did anybody mention the name of the offensive coordinator? Dowell Loggins.
Dowell Loggins.
I don't know if it's in the chat, but that's his name. Frodo Baggins is Dowell Loggins.
Jamie got it.
Dowell Loggins. What a piece of shit. All right, that's the list.
But that was the other point I forgot to mention about Ashton Davis was his explosiveness on special teams.
He should be returning kicks for us.
Yeah.
All right, we're on to topics.
Oh, look who joined the chat. CPS 617. Also known as Chad.
Yeah, if you guys, so the people in the chat right now, you guys saw Chad last week. He is now in the chat.
Yeah, he was that guy talking about loving Franz Fitzpatrick.
Thank you, Chad, for being here last week.
Cheers to you on that comment.
I'm just kidding, Chad. Thanks, man, for coming back. Oh, we appreciate you taking time with us last week.
Yep, we enjoyed
hopefully
that.
you guys enjoyed that.
Yeah, give us some feedback on Chad. Let us know if he should come back on the show. We'd be happy to have him. We're going to get to the final topic before we start taking phone calls, because that's a thing now on this channel.
Yep.
Topic 4. What are your expectations for Robert Saleh? Now, please remind yourselves, a head coach and their expectations are usually tied to a record of some sort, but we're going to give a record prediction, but it's kind of pointless at this point in the year.
Yeah.
It's more of a projection of what we will do in the off season and a guess. But what are your expectations for like him as a coach? Like, what kind of management is he going to use? Is he going to be good at taking timeouts? Is he going to have good clock management? Is he going to make good decisions on the fly? Is he going to make good adjustments, at halftime and things like that? Like, how do you see Robert Saleh doing year one? What are your expectations of him? And there is a follow-up to that question. We're going to go on this first. What are you thinking about Saleh year one?
There's a lot of things to break apart there that you mentioned, and all the things that make up the telltale signs of coaching and good coaching. On top of that, I think until as we unravel this knot over the course of the topic, the overwhelming thing that I get that I'm excited to see how it translates to on the field is just the energy and the morale of the team.
His passion, football.
I mean, it very much gives me the vibes of, whether you agree with me or not, when Rex's first season.
No, a lot of people are going to agree with that.
I know there was that energy where you knew, you may not have known whether we're going postseason or not, but you knew we were going to put up a fight. If we were going to have a crap season, we were going to give some teams some hell during that crap season.
Exactly.
And I don't really feel like we gave any teams a chat hell, and I think that's why last season for me ranks as the worst season as me as a Jets fan. In my fandom career, right. This is the best way to say it.
They lacked any energy or passion.
It was just so, it almost made me feel detached from the team because it was so lacking of energy and emotion. And I think Saleh now kind of rekindles the fires of Gondor. and really now has got me thinking and dusting off the keyboard and actually going to the NYJ, the New York Jets shop, and actually looking at what I might want to upgrade in my fandom collection. So I think that's obviously the Jets are going to love that. The organization wants that. That's what they were hoping for, is to get people.
Your biggest expectation is he's just going to bring energy and it's going to permeate through the entire team.
I got comments on the more finer details in the weeds, but
that was just
to break the ice on the topic. Yeah, I think the overwhelming thing I'm most excited about is the energy it brings to the players and also to that front office. And I think you'll see that, fans. I think you'll see that in different areas, whether you go to the games or whether you just follow the media of the Jets. I think you're going to see a really aggressive, somewhat marketing campaigns centered around that energy. So that's a really kind of interesting take on it.
No, it's a good way to start it. I think he's going to spread leadership and passion throughout the entire building.
Yeah.
And you said that perfectly, I think. So I'm going to say, on a different note, I agree with everything he just said. One thing worth noting is his first year at San Francisco, the defense struggled.
Yeah.
And they were one of the worst defenses in the league before he came, so we need to keep that in mind. But they struggled his first year. They had to learn the system. They had to get players in there that fit those systems and the schemes that they were running in those systems. And I feel like Robert Saleh, there's going to be a transition period this year where we're still trying to bring people in that we need to run things the right way.
Yeah.
So my expectations for this year is to be a transition year. I'm hoping for anywhere between 6 wins to 8 wins. I'm not expecting a winning season. I don't see that. Doesn't matter what we do. The only thing we could do really that would change that would be Deshaun Watson. I don't know if that's happening. I've kind of faded on that a little bit. I've slowed down my expectation. I'm not saying I don't want him, but I just don't know how realistic it is because if the Jets were hot for him, I think the move would have already been made.
I mean, free agency hasn't even started yet, though.
Right, but that's my thing is like I think that they would have like
Lined
that.
up the deal
I think that move is not a move that's made after
I don't think
free
you would
agency.
know. I even if it didn't happen and he's already made a deal with another team, I don't think you'll even know because I think they have such massive NDAs, non-disclosure kind of stipulations.
No, because Jared Goff and Matt Stafford, that deal got announced.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
So anyway, my big expectation is we're going to win a few more games this year. I think the team will definitely play with their hair on fire, and I just see a little bit of growth, and I also see that the second year of Robert Saleh, that's what I'm expecting more out of the team.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that he mentioned. It was a bad year last year. It was a bad record, but it was just even worse watching them play football. And I think this year, even if we have a losing record, I think we'll enjoy watching them because we're going to see the passion and the energy.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. And I would say I do want to like touch on one thing. Are you all right, let me make sure I get this right. Do you have a high expectation of him coming in and being, because I feel like it's a give and take. So the tactician of clock management and
There's going to be an adjustment period, I think.
Yeah, well, he's not. I was going to say play call, but he's not calling plays.
Nope. I love that, by the way. Huge thing, I think. That's underrated, I think. I think a head coach can obviously do it. We've seen head coaches do it, like Sean Payton does it. There's a bunch of others. I'm not going to try to list them, but it's great to know that our head coach can go to any player. He can go to any side of the ball. He can go to special teams. He's fully able to run the team on game day, and that is a huge plus. I think that he'll be great at it.
Yeah.
I think he does need time, though. He's going to need to get a feel for jumping around the whole team because that's what they're expecting.
Right.
I think that's the expectation is that he's going to float around the whole sideline. He's not going to just be with the defense. He's going to talk to the quarterback. Mm-hmm. He's going to talk to the defense. He's going to talk to the coordinators. He's going to talk to the position coaches. So I see that big time for Saleh, and that's my expectation. Is he does that, I'll be so happy. And he just needs to learn how to manage the game, how to make adjustments on the fly. Those are the things that make good coaches into great coaches. And if you can make those decisions and you can change in the middle of a game.
Yep. Well, what are your expectations on his game management?
He's gonna. That's what I said already.
No, but I know you touched on. Maybe I missed you at the end there, but I know you touched on his involvement in player engagement on the field.
Game management, he's going to need to learn. That's what I said. Okay. He's going to have moments where he does well.
Right.
Kind of like a rookie. Like, he'll have moments where they show like they could be a stud. Right. And then I think there's going to be times where he makes a mistake.
Yeah.
And I think it would be silly of Jets fans to be hypercritical. I mean, we can always criticize people when they mess up. That's fine.
Right.
But we need to understand he's a rookie head coach. He's never done this head coaching position before.
Correct.
He's going to make mistakes. So we need to be prepared for that.
Something that I should have mentioned because I consider it different than energy is game readiness. I heard from what the reports I've read, particularly towards the end at San Fran, he was renowned for working with the strength coaches and conditioners on making sure players are ready before the season. And these are things that every coach should do. So, but because we had Gase, I'm just mentioning it because we've been lacking it.
I hear where you're going with it. It's fine.
It's just getting players ready to play. Whether they position themselves and take advantage.
Mentally ready, too.
And mentally ready as well. That goes hand in hand. So whether they take that step through the doorway, through their own talent and readiness is obviously a mixed bag. But making sure he gives the opportunity and positions those players to be successful and have those opportunities is something I've been reading a lot about and what he does behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm. Chat's lighting up.
Chat is lighting up. Robbie Oak predicting 6 wins, so Robbie took a more.
Yeah, I said 6 to 8.
Did you give a quote? I didn't.
Yeah, I did. I said 6 to 8 games.
I'm saying I'm shooting for 7 to 8. I guess 6 to 8 is. I would say I'd be a little disappointed at 6. I'm not gonna lie.
We were 2-win team.
That's
the idea. We would improve our win record by 4 games.
It's just me. I'm just gonna go out there and say this is a me thing. I would be a little bit 7. Not to say 7 versus 6 makes a big deal.
It's way too early to be disappointed because we have no idea what the roster is going to be. The off season Huh?
True, but considering the amount of opportunities we have.
Right, draft picks and money.
6.
Yep, I hear you.
I mean, Robbie, I think it's a realistic. I think that view is a minority of the Jet fans who usually have an elevated expectation. I would just, me personally, I would want one more win. I need 5 more wins. I need 5 more wins.
Oh, 5 more
Yeah,
than
yeah,
2. Okay,
yeah,
I got you.
Yeah.
All right, the only follow-up here, and then we're going to start taking some phone calls.
I got it ready.
So the last topic, or last part to the topic is what could he do or not do that would cause you to worry about him moving forward? So, like, what could be something that he would totally F up? Or something that he does that would really bother you, like, moving forward? What would be something that would sketch you out?
If he gets mono, I'm done. I'm done with him, chat.
Okay, so mononucleosis
Yes.
could be a problem.
Absolutely.
Any other
Or
concerns?
you alternate. You go next.
So I feel like I don't really care about like the media and like press conferences, but if he's weird in press conferences, because Gase was just bizarre.
I think he's already proven that wrong. I
know. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm just
I'll
saying.
say this. I'm going to add to yours.
Okay.
I don't mean to be that guy that comes in on your
Right,
take.
right.
But I am. And what I'm going to say is, if he's not more transparent than what Gase was. Now that's really subjective, but
Right.
I don't think you saw a lot coming out of that team other than the weekly press conferences. Not to say another team is doing anything different, but we always got enough information for what we needed. I think that's how they treated those press conferences. They knew the media was going to tear them to pieces anyway, so they only gave you enough to wet your whistle, and that was it. I'm expecting a lot more transparency. Not to say that
To be a likable person.
and also like let you know what's going on in the team,
Right.
in the locker room.
Yep.
That's give or take depending on what's happening, and obviously they'll probably have to hold Robert back a bit. At least that's me just projecting, but I do expect he wants to engage the fan base because we've lost them.
We got a new chat member, D Spy. Welcome to the chat.
Yeah,
Welcome to the channel.
cheers, man. Welcome,
if you are a new listener to the channel tonight, please consider subscribing. We are giving away 5 more Jets Koozies. If you like this video, if you subscribe to the channel, and if you comment in this chat, you are automatically in the running for a koozie. What'd they say?
I don't really see. We got a couple internal chat comments. The new our new viewer, DSNY, 8-8 would be great, but 6-10 would be acceptable. Man, you guys are open to that 6-10, man.
You just again keep in mind though, what's the team right now? We
I
don't again.
understand.
It's like a wild card right now.
I know, but
That's why they're saying that though. You can't be hard on people saying 6 and 8. We don't know.
I need 5 more wins. I can't do 4.
We will revisit this shit
We
a
will.
million times during this offseason. After free agency, we're going to be doing it.
Can someone else agree with you? You need one more win. I mean, that's like having 3/4 of the cheesecake and just leaving that little sliver left.
The only other thing that he could do that would concern me is if, for some reason, we heard reports that maybe he and Douglas weren't seeing eye to eye.
Oh my gosh, that's a really worst case scenario.
So that would be hyper alarming. Is if we heard any kind of leaks like that.
Damn,
that
I didn't even think about that. That would be awful.
Yeah, it would be bad. We need those two on the same page, and we need those guys.
Who
like
wins that?
Joe Douglas. He better win it, and that's not me favoring him. Joe Douglas is the general manager. He's in charge of everything.
But man, we'd be like falling right back into that Gen MO of rotating coaches in and out, wouldn't we?
It's a bad situation, and again, it's not likely.
That really that's a bummer. I wasn't even thinking about that.
That's something that
That's
he
scary.
could. That's something that he could do that would concern me greatly. All right, let's go to we're gonna put the phone number. Let's go over a couple of ground rules actually. Before you put that in. So the first ground rule: when you are calling me, you need to have the stream muted.
Yes.
There will be
Can't be any
crazy.
audio.
There will be crazy feedback from your phone. So make sure that if we answer your call, you please cut the stream on your end, and then we just want to hear from you guys. So if you just want to say what's up,
have a chat.
if you want to talk about something that we didn't mention tonight, that's an opportunity for you to bring it up.
Right. Talk about the channel. Talk about anything. I mean,
Yeah, we could care less. We just want to hear from you guys, give you an opportunity. If you don't want to call, no worries. It's all good. So Mike's going to put the phone number in there, and you'll be calling me. It's going to ask for your name.
Yeah.
You can use your chat name if you want. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, if you can use your chat name, that way we know, especially if you've been in the chat and active, we want to thank you again.
Yeah, that's all this is we just appreciate you guys, because every week this is a blast. We enjoy doing this with you guys. So couldn't be happier. We're having such a good time. And if you're not going to call, feel free to... if you're not going to call, feel free to also just message us.
Yeah.
If you have something else you want to talk about, it's no pressure.
If you want to call us, you want to give us your 2 cents and tell us how we can go kick rocks down the street,
Right.
I still want to talk to you.
If you don't feel like calling and being on the phone, some people are not interested in
Oh,
that.
yeah, no. Let me tell you, if I saw 2 guys put a number on the screen and they asked me to call... I'm gonna tell you guys call that number. I'm already respected. I'm already.
All right. Anything else you want to hit on while we're waiting for maybe no calls?
I would say that if you guys don't call, this video will be next in line behind us, me and John going back to watch our first stream where it was literally just me and him talking to each other.
Oh,
and then
man.
I encourage you guys to go back and watch that because I'm going to.
So actually, but while we're sitting here and not getting a phone call, I would like you to recommend. This is serious. On a serious note, I would like you to recommend what you guys would like to see on the channel. So I've been doing free agency profiles. I've been doing draft profiles. So I have about 6 draft profiles right now, and there's going to be 5 free agent profiles over the weekend. There's going to be 5 total. What are some free agents that you guys want to see me do videos on? Because I do 2 a week. Sometimes I do more. So I have Kenny Golladay this weekend, and Brandon Scherf as well. So who would you guys want to see in our videos on this channel? Because I'm interested and I'm down for doing any positions. It could be a defensive player.
to clown.
It could be a defensive player. It could be some offensive linemen. I already am doing Brandon Scherf and Joe Tooney. I've done. So just let me know what you guys think.
And I know you guys have been hassling me where I am. I'm like a drifting tumbleweed. Actually, no one's asked a damn thing about it. So,
Yeah, nobody's.
I'll just say I've been talking to John about how I can contribute to the channel. Busted Knuckles trying to get through.
Oh.
Can you confirm this number is correct? 347-921.
Hold on. 347-921-1468.
Yeah, that's the number, Joe. Man, I don't know.
Yeah. Did you type it incorrect?
347, yes, 921-1468. Yeah. We tested it, Joe. I promise you we did.
Yeah.
I was literally standing right outside this door using a different alias, and it was working.
Just check your digits. It's all good.
Maybe you guys need a 1 in front of the area code. I don't know how that works. I don't think.
Oh, that's possible. Yeah, it might need a 1. I haven't tried that because we are in Maryland. After all, we are not in New York. If you're in that area.
Yeah, I mean, I heard with cell phones you don't need to do that, but maybe it's worth the shits and
It shouldn't
giggles.
be that, dude.
I'm just throwing it out there. Joe, we did test it, so my apologies. You
tested it last night, and we tested it just before the stream as well. So.
But while we let Joe maybe see if he can get through, maybe I screwed up.
Yeah,
it's all good, Joe. But no, I've been talking to John about how I can contribute to the channel. I don't really want to, get in his way and in his swag of how. Oh, here we go. Is that it?
Oh, for God's sake. Mom, I'm not answering the phone.
You think were they in the viewing?
It's my mom's watching. Oh. Yeah, she's trying to call because we don't have any callers. Love you, mom, but no.
We appreciate it.
We love you, mom. Let me answer. Oh, she already hung up.
But no, I've been talking to John. I don't want to get in the way of his swag. So what I think I'm gonna do, and you guys can let me know in the comments or don't say anything. Is wow, that if you got that on video,
party foul.
Woo!
Look at
Michelle, if you're out there, that's your man. You're gonna need to get one of those Swiffer doctors. What do they call rug doctors? Anyway, but I think what we're gonna do, Chad, is I'm gonna just do. I gotta come up with what night and things like that. But I think I'm gonna do reaction videos to Jet YouTube videos that are out there. It'll just be me. Maybe you've never seen those videos before. I think I'll do that, and then I'll just probably do a topic here and there. Just trying to feel out what works. Oh, Rob Yoke, alcohol abuse. Yeah, you really are. You're now.
It was a party foul. It's not alcohol
We're going to
abuse.
report you. But yeah, I think we're going to try a couple different things out. And I'll tell you one thing. John can back me up on this. I am great at sniffing out some YouTube videos. Like, really unique, like, videos you didn't even know are on there. I got some funny stories of videos I found that relate to John and I's fantasy football stuff that we do. But, looking for ideas. So, if you guys got anything, let me know. Get the carpet spray. Beard.
What was the
Oh, that's Michelle.
Someone mentioned Keanu Neal on the chat.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Keanu Neal would be awesome, actually. So, we didn't mention him as a free agent target. Are you saying that I should do a video on him? Because that would be pretty dope, actually, now that you mentioned that. Keanu Neal would be great alongside Marcus May. What's the next person say?
Like Scooter Magooter. Michelle chimed in. Did you see her comment?
What'd she say?
She said, "Get the carpet spray, beer boy."
Yeah, I heard that.
He didn't mean it.
It's okay. There's no stain there.
There we go. We got somebody.
All right, let's go.
Joe.
What's going on?
Joe.
Press 1. To send a voicemail, press...
What's up, Joe? Welcome to NYJ today. How you doing, man?
Good, guys. How you doing? What's going on with you?
Hey, Joe.
Not a whole lot, man. It's good to hear from you. What do you got for us?
Yeah, same. No, I appreciate what you guys are doing. I enjoy it. I come in every week. I try to, give what I can. Even if it's a bad take, whatever.
Yeah, dude. No, we enjoy it. That's the thing.
We're so
we like
thankful, man.
we like the back and
You
forth.
stir it up.
Hell yeah. I appreciate the Koozie. I enjoy it. Got a beer right now, actually.
Good for you, man.
Nice, man.
There
That's
it
how we
is.
do it. The Wednesdays are great because it's like it's the perfect way
Gets
to
you
break
through
up the week,
man.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, man. No, all I want to do is call in. I got really nothing to complain about. I'm actually excited for what's to come for the first time in forever. I mean, we all suffered forever.
Hell yeah.
dude.
Hell yeah.
It's been nice having a bunch of guys on YouTube to basically have therapy sessions with. So,
Yeah, man.
I'll keep doing what I'm doing,
That's how I see it too, man.
They'll come.
Yeah, dude. I'm looking forward to it. I just feel like it's been like a dark age for us. Really, that's what it's like. It's like going through the Rich Kotite dark age.
Era. Yeah, it really is, man.
Oh my God! I don't know how long you guys have been fans, but I've been fans for probably close to 20 years, and it's been awful. I mean,
Yeah.
just about, except for 2 good years in 09 and 010. That was it. So.
Yep, 96 was when I.
got,
96 is when I started
yeah.
watching them.
Oh yeah, my father had me sitting down watching the fake Spike and everything else. I don't know how old I was at that point.
Yeah, man.
You know,
I'm telling you,
whatever.
I can't tell you how many times there's been tears in my family. you know how much time do you think, Joe, we've been spending our fan brain capacity on reminiscing rather than being excited in the current moment? That's where Jet fans live. We live in the past. That's where we're at right now, Joe.
The best time we had in the last few years was one game against the Patriots from Ryan
Right.
Fitzpatrick.
Can't wait.
Yeah. And actually,
Exactly, and then back then.
even worse is probably our best playoff win of all time. We didn't even win a Super Bowl that season against the Patriots. We beat them in the playoffs. That was our Super Bowl.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey man, give that game another quarter, and we probably would have been going to the Super Bowl, honestly. But
Yeah, that's a good point.
whatever.
It makes me nauseous to think about that season.
Oh God, yeah, it's horrendous.
It's painful. It's
But,
painful.
Yeah. No.
Well, I'll let you guys go. I just wanted to give you a call, check
Dude,
in.
thank you so much.
It
Thank you
means
for
a lot,
calling.
man.
Yeah, thank you
We
so much for
appreciate
calling.
it, Joe.
We hope to hear from you next week,
You
dude.
got it, guys.
Yeah, man.
Have a
Take
good
it
one,
easy.
man.
Keep doing your thing.
Yeah,
Thank you,
bro.
brother.
Take it
All right,
easy.
take care, bye.
All right, that was Joe.
Good man.
Joe, thank you so much for
Dude,
calling.
that was awesome, man.
First caller. He's got that forever. He's the first caller on NYJ
We'll
today.
immortalize him inside
Yeah.
the studio. Your name's going on the chair. We're going to scratch it in there. That was awesome. I really appreciate that, Joe.
Yeah, Joe, thank you very much.
And like I said, for the rest of you slackers out there, I would be with you. I wouldn't be calling the number either. So Joe's got bigger cojones than I do.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have called the number.
It's all good. Yeah. So we'll stay on for another like 5-7 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Again, let me know what you guys want to do as far as videos for the next week or so.
Let's talk about draft real quick.
We've talked about the draft in the past. To your pitch.
More details to come. It's somewhat like a present. We're going to unwrap it slowly.
Draft's still kind of far away.
I know, which is why we're going to unwrap it real slow. We're going to unwrap it real slow as far as the details are concerned. I am putting it together an action plan. I would be just, Joe, others, be prepared for a long stream. I'm getting really psyched and pumped up about it. I think it's going to be a good time. We're still trying to work out the kinks, obviously, with the draft, and it's not really new structure or time, but the fact that it is on a work day, so, me and John are coordinating.
We're taking off Friday.
Yeah, we're going to be taking off, but obviously we're still trying to do some things. I am looking at some type of interactive game, some type of spin wheel, things like that.
We'll be drinking.
I'm testing. Oh, there will be. There will be plenty Mr. Scooter Magruder's going on around here.
We'll be drinking for the draft, and it's going to probably start at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, I think we're going to probably kick
do
off
our final mock draft right before the draft.
Something like that. Trying to make it interactive for you guys. We totally expect people to come in, go out. We're going to we will be watching it anyway.
Exactly.
So, again, more details to come slowly as we move towards the draft in April.
If you guys have any ideas for the draft for the stream or for just leading up to the draft, let us know. I haven't put out a mock draft yet. I was gonna wait till free agency, but maybe I'll do a free agency mock draft. If you want to see that on the channel, let me know. Happy to do that. But that's all I got, I think.
So let's just do a quick recap. We touched on channel news. We touched on draft. We touched on some things that I'm trying to experiment with to see if it works. The reaction videos. I'm looking for comments there, so don't forget that. Checking the chat real quick. Looks like
Bud Dupree.
People are just chilling.
No,
people are just hanging out.
Grant Root said Bud Dupree, man.
Oh, I missed that. My bad.
So he's giving me Keanu Neal and Bud Dupree. I am planning on getting to pass rushers probably after this week. I'm going to do Bud Dupree. I like the Keanu Neal idea. I might pair him with Bud Dupree. So yeah, that would be awesome. So this weekend's going to be Brandon Scherf and Kenny Galladay. And then the following weekend, Grant, I am going to do Keanu Neal and Bud Dupree, because Bud Dupree would be pretty sweet. We need an edge rusher, and I think we wouldn't have to necessarily break the bank. We need to pay him, obviously, because he's a good player, but he's coming off of an injury. He's not terribly young. He would be a good fit, I think, for the 4-3
it's very
play edge.
Yeah. Great. I'm actually serious. Scooter Magruder is a fan reaction king. Check him out. Definitely, man. I'll check it out. I haven't actually messed with his material, so I'll check that out for sure. And like I said, Grant, it'd be something I just mess around with. If it works for you guys, if it's fun for me, I don't mind doing it. Even if I don't have a viewer, like I said, I'm in YouTube all the time trying to find videos as it is. So I might as well be more productive while I do it, and you guys can watch along and we can have a discussion about it.
If you're still on the stream, email me right now. I will give you a free koozie.
Call or email?
Email me, nyjtoday
Maybe
at gmail.com. You can put that in the link.
I think I messed up, dude. You know why? Because I need to repost that number because it just keeps floating up.
Oh, that's a good idea. nyjtoday at gmail.com. If you email me, I will send you a free koozie. Assuming you already haven't gotten one, email me, you will get a free koozie. If you're still in the chat, I will mail it to you.
If you email it and call us, we'll sign it. We'll sign it and we'll send it to you.
All right.
We'll put our John Hancocks on it.
That's going to do it for this stream. NYJ today.
What if they call after the stream ends?
What if they call after?
Yeah.
Then I'm going to hang up on them.
The number will be shut down and active. Chad, JJ Watt, question mark. I don't want JJ. I'm going to pass on that, Chad. Another fun night. Thanks, guys. That's Robbie Oak. Robbie Oak, man, it's always good seeing you. Thanks for all the good chat.
Jamie, good show, guys. Thanks, man. Busting out, Joe. I didn't get no signature. What the hell?
You know what, Joe? Next time, you know what? We'll sign. I'm gonna sign and send you one anyway. How about that, man? You're in the VIP club. First caller, man. Well, we appreciate it. Let's go.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and call that a wrap. Hopefully, you enjoyed the stream. I'm gonna get ready for the good old chant to end us.
Let's drink a little bit first.
All right, you gonna chug?
I'm not drinking all my beer though.
Ready? Yeah, let's do it.
J-E-T-S, Jets. Go
Thanks,
Jets.
guys.
Have a good night. We'll see you next Wednesday.